Hello everyone, Steve Burns back again. So we're going to create another type of a 3D object. We're going to do a magnifying glass. So the workflow that I'm using right now is the workflow I would like you to use for your homework assignment, in that you just model your 3D object in a separate 3D layer. You're going to have 5 of them total. So you're going to get 1 point each for each one. And find some household object. Keep it simple. Do nothing complicated, just so you can get some basic understanding and practice with the 3D tools in Photoshop. All right, so I'm going to create a new layer, and then we're also going to bring in the picture of our magnifying glass. I'm going to go over the bridge. There is my magnifying glass, and I'm going to drag it on into Photoshop here. Here it is, and I'm going to just resize this or reorganize it this way, because that's the way I'm going to be working. So I want everything lathing is now the lathe command works on the y-axis only. And I'm going to hit enter so I can see what I've done. And I'm going to modify it again. I'm going to try to get it right down that that center line. Command T and a little slight rotation. There it is. I think that works pretty well. Okay, so there's my object. Let's turn off the 3D object of the glass. So I'm just dealing with this. I'm going to put this right down here. I'm going to group both of the images. So I want to see the images or the reference images that you're using inside a folder as well. So all I'm going to do is just select all those reference images and hit Command or Control G, and I can just type this reference. I can spell it right. I'm missing a. There we go. All right. Now let's go to the top here. Go to my new layer. Make a new layer. Okay. And we're going to work from here. Now we go to the bottom and turn on my reference for the magnifying glass. Put it up. And I'm going to need to put this right above, there we go, just temporarily above my gradient layer. Okay, I'm going to close that on up, and I can turn that off anytime. All right, so we're going to work with our pen tool once again. Now there's 2 ways I can go about this. Number one, we need the thick rim, or this real thin rim that's extruded outward a little bit. Okay, so I'm thinking, my thought is to create a shape, a quick shape that's going to represent just that rim and extrude it outwards. So the next idea is we need to extrude the handle. So we're going to use the lathe command for the handle, and I'm thinking of tackling that first. And I'm looking at some little extra details here on the side, the little rounded edges, that we can actually utilize that for the lathe. So it looks like there's a little bit of a curved flush mount here. Then it goes into the 2 circular nodules, straight down for the neck, more nodules, and then it goes into the handle. All right, now just in anticipation of texturing, I might want to model these separately, but I'm going to provide that for the texture side of the tutorial. All right, so I'm going to get in close, go to my pen tool, and we're in the shape option here. Now if you want to, we can, change your color to something different. So I'm going to let the handle be one color, and then the other objects will be another color. How about if we give this something like a green? It doesn't matter, because we're going to change it up anyway. So I'm going to start here. So this is going to represent the base. So I'm going to start here, click and release, hold the shift key to come straight across, right about there. Give it a little bit of a curve here. If we get in really close, I have a slight curve in here. Holding the command key or control key for the white arrow tool, I'm getting a solid. I'm going to go take the opacity down a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to start adding my curves. So outlining my curves in front of me. And curve starts here, ends here. I'm not getting greedy about this. I'm going to start. There we are. That's good. Now straight line, straight on down, shift key, outline it. We have a slight little curve here. It's a low res image, and sometimes when you're looking for something that you don't have in a house, you don't always have high res images. So you're going to have to, up res it, or, kind of use your best guess in outlining these things. Okay, now I'm going to go around, and I'm going to create the curve. It ends right about there. There it is. So using a vector, come all the way down, shift key. So it really wasn't straight, was it? So I go to my arrow key and just move it this way so it outlines my handle more accurately. Place this at the beginning of the curve, subsides right about there, click and drag it, get an approximation. Now, click and drag right there, just slightly. I'm going to give it the Alt command, so go all the way up and connect it. Done. Okay, so that's my handle. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to type it, double click it to rename this handle. Now I want the actual glass. There's actually a couple of ways to do it. And one of them is to actually create from the side the beveled shape, or I can use the other command where I'm utilizing the inflation, or bring out the inflation. Let's try the inflation first. So I have a circular shape already, right? So I'm going to make, we'll make a brand new shape like so. And I'll tell you what, I'll just double click on the vector shape, give it a different color. Let's make it kind of a blue. Give it a slight opacity. Now go to my black arrow tool, which maintains the shape. There we go. We're just moving the whole thing. And I'm going to just resize this. That's probably pretty close to what we want. So I'm going to hit Command T. Alt to resize to the center. Shift to maintain the shape. Just a slight. That's good. All right, and then from this, what we'll do is we'll make the edge of our actual shape. So a quick and easy way to do it. Now this is going to show you how we can actually use pixel information on the layer instead of a vector information. I'm going to make a brand new layer. And I'm going to make a shape from the vector that I've already done. So command click right on it. And I'm going to fill this layer with, let's fill it with a medium gray. Or I tell you what, we'll fill it with black. Let's keep it simple. There. So I did Alt Backspace to fill with the background. Alt or Option Backspace or Delete to fill with the foreground color. Now what I like to do is take that selection, go to my select menu, transform that selection, okay, and I'm just going to bring it down slightly, holding Alt Command Shift there, and hit Enter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out. All right, there's my shape, or my outside of my glass. Okay, so now it's time to work our magic. So let's go ahead and I'm going to turn off this background layer temporarily. There are my shapes. I'm going to target all of my shapes and make sure they're all 100%. I'll just scroll on over. There they are. And let's go ahead and put them into a group as well, just to keep organized. Rename that one Shapes. Pull that back there. All right, let's open it up and let's go ahead and start the handle. So I'm going to turn off the top two, target this one, go to my 3D panel, 3D extrusion, target create, sit back and relax and let the program do its thing. It made a automatic linear extrusion, as you can see. We want to lathe it, target our handle, and go to our presets and target this one here. It's one of the fastest ways to apply your revolve. Okay, there it is. Now we can kind of zoom in a little closer. There. Let's go ahead and close up the little hole there. Just kind of give it a little tighter, a thinner profile. So target our handle and then go to our extrusion depth. Here it is. In fact, I think I'm going to rotate this a little bit better. There it is. Pull this down and close that up slightly. There it is. Okay. So that'll be the beginning of our handles. Now let's go ahead and extrude out everything else. And go back to our layer. And let's go to the ring that's going to hold our glass. Okay. Now what we're going to do is go to our 3D, extrusion, and target create. This one we want a linear extrusion. Okay. So it's a little bit too long of an extrusion. So what are we going to do? Go ahead and pull this down. Make the ring about as tight as we need it. Let's say right about there. All right. Now I'm going to name this one, that little 3D layer. We're going to call it, I'll say glass support. And hit enter. All right, there we are. So again, I'm going to cascade this up. The rest of this texture I don't want to take a look at. We have one, and we turn this one on. We're going to have two separate 3D scenes. So as you can see, so the top one here, we target this one down here in the bottom. We have the handle. Okay. All right, I'm going to go to take a look at the top again. There it is. Okay, now we're going to merge those in just a bit, but I want to do one last one. Let's go ahead and extrude this out as well. We're going to give that a linear extrusion as well. Come right over here to our 3D panel. Make sure I'm in the right layer. There it is, our vector shape. 3D extrusion, target create. Okay. And I'm going to take a look at this one. I'm going to restrict. Let's go to our 3D object. Double click it. Let's call this one glass. There we are. And we're going to tighten that up a little bit. So the glass is going to have like a thin little ring here. It's not going to be, it's going to have some thickness to it, but we want to concave the outer portions. Okay. I'm going to tap and release on the background, which puts me into the camera view, and there's the basis of my glass. So I want the outer portions to be concave. So that's going to be our inflation, right? Now I'm going to go target the glass itself, and we're going to go over to the bevel command here. Okay, let's pull this on up. Now I'm not worried about beveling. I am worried about inflation. Now, what I would like to do is inflate this on both the front and the back side at the same time. And to do so, you're going to take a look at this, and right up here at the top where it says sides, front, back, or front and back. So I'm going to target front and back. I'm going to take the strength over to the right. I'm just going to eye this actually. So if I kind of pull this a little closer to me, I'm going to eye it. So take the strength up. There it is. So there we go. So just a little bit of and I can play with the angle, right? There we go. The angle. So the angle is actually, it's affecting the area that's closest to the edges of this. And there we are. Now we'll give a little more strength, just a teeny bit. Here we go. I think that'll work just fine. I'm going to tap and release on the ground plane again, turn it around, and we have a little bit of thickness for the glass there. Okay, fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save this one. Command 0 to bring it all into focus. Now, what we're looking at here are 3 completely 3D scenes. So, one for the ring, one for the glass, and also one for the handle. What I would like to do is merge these together. Okay. Now, before I merge them together, I have a habit of saving everything in increments. So, Command Shift S, and I'll call this one 3D Shapes number 2. So if anything crashes, I always have my recent document or my latest document that was in proper order. And if I want to, I like to save increments to kind of save a step-by-step instruction of what I've done in a way. So select all 3 of these. I'm going to go ahead and cascade all this information for the handle. Target the top. Then I'm going to hit the Shift key and target the bottom. We want to merge all these into a single 3D scene because right now, each one of these is being affected with its own lights, its own camera, its own ground plane independent of one another. So what we're going to do is going to merge them into one single 3D scene. Go to our 3D menu and just simply jump down to Merge 3D Layers, second item from the top. Target it. We'll sit back and relax, watch it merge together. There it is. Now, as you can see, now everything's in a single 3D scene. Now, how do we know that? Well, first of all, we see objects passing through one another. That's one visual cue, right? But the other visual cue is that if we open up our 3D panel or target the 3D panel, everything is inside the panel. Here's my handle, there's the glass, and there's the glass support. Okay, they're all independent. So there's a trick here. I can manipulate everything right now, or I can merge everything into a 3D scene or a one 3D group. Not a 3D scene, but one 3D group. And to do so, a quick and easy way to do so is go to the 3D menu, group all objects in scene. It'll do it for you. As you can see, they're kind of, disorganized in here between default camera. There's several cameras. They're all, in different positions. But if I go over here and merge this into all objects in scene, group all objects in scene, sit back, watch it do its thing, and take a look at what we have here. There. Now we're back to one current camera, one light source, and then we have all the scenes here listed: handle, glass, and support. Now, I want to organize this. So remember that little technique I shared with you where I can go to coordinate view? If I target the handle, for instance, I can go over to the coordinate view and I can reset this here. That's the positioning. And as you see, it's been placed in 000 position. I can do the same for the glass, and I can reposition it. Okay, I'm going to target the glass support and reposition it. I can also reset the rotation. Go to the angle option right next to it and hit it, and there it is. See, and that's the way to organize this stuff. Now, looks like the glass and the support pretty much is lining up already. So I can target both the glass support and hold the control key, select them both, go to my arrow, and I love to use the 3D widget navigator here, highlight yellow the tip of the arrow and Y-axis and just bring it straight up on Y-axis, and there it is. If I want to move the entire group together, target the scene group. I can rename this whole group, and we're going to call it Magnifying glass. Okay, there it is. Now with the whole group targeted, it moves everything as if it's one model. Now if it's down here, once again, we can go to our 3D menu, move objects to ground plane, and there it is. Okay, there is your basic magnifying glass, and there it is. Now you're going to learn how to texture this later on, but there's a nifty little tutorial, and a quick magnifying glass. Actually, let's go model a chess piece now, just for the fun of it.